Thank you all for being here today. We must seize this opportunity to create change. Together, we can make a difference. True leadership starts from within. It's not about the title, but the actions we take. Let's lead with purpose.
My mom
My
is a
mom is a
cleaner,
cleaner,
and
and she's smarter than all of you.
The auditorium went silent. Parents shifted uncomfortably. Teachers exchanged glances. Amanda Thompson stood at the podium, 7 years old, cornrows pulled into a neat ponytail, her chin raised in defiance. She works 3 jobs so I can go to this school. She can't afford a laptop, so I built my own computer from trash. Amanda held up a device, wires exposed, screen cracked, but glowing with lines of code. If someone like her can raise someone like me, then your excuses about limited resources are just excuses. A woman in the front row gasped. A father muttered something in Korean. But in the back of the auditorium, Kang Min-jun leaned forward. His breath caught in his throat. The child's eyes, her defiance, the way she stood like she was ready to fight the whole world. He knew that fire. Technology isn't a luxury for rich kids, Amanda continued, her voice steady. It's a right, and I'm going to make sure everyone has access to it, even people like my mom who the world keeps telling aren't good enough. The applause started slowly, then built into thunder. But Min-jun didn't clap. He couldn't move. His eyes locked on the jade pendant hanging around Amanda's neck, a cufflink on a silver chain, glinting under the stage lights. His family's crest. The cufflink he'd lost 8 years ago in Atlanta. Sir. His assistant, Jay, whispered beside him. Are you all right? Min-jun's voice came out strangled. That child. Find out everything about her. Now. If that opening grabbed you, drop a comment. And subscribe. This is about to get wild. Valerie's hands trembled as she scrubbed the executive floor of Gangnam Tower. It was 2 a.m., her third shift of the day. Her knees ached. Her back screamed. But the marble had to shine, perfectly, always perfectly, or Mrs. Choi would dock her pay. She couldn't afford that. Not with Amanda's school fees due next week. Mom always says tired hands build strong futures. Amanda's voice echoed in her memory, and Valerie's eyes burned. Her baby shouldn't have to be wise beyond her years. She should be playing, dreaming, being a child. But poverty didn't allow for childhood. Miss Thompson. Valerie's head snapped up. Mrs. Choi stood in the hallway with a man in a suit that probably cost more than Valerie earned in 6 months. Tall, sharp-featured, with eyes that seemed to dissect everything they touched. This is Mr. Kang Min-jun, Mrs. Choi said nervously in Korean, then switched to English. He wants to speak with you. Valerie stood, wiping her raw hands on her apron. Is there a problem with my work? No. Min-jun stepped closer, studying her face like he was searching for something. I attended your daughter's presentation at Seoul International Elementary 3 days ago. Valerie's stomach dropped. Amanda, is she in trouble? Quite the opposite. His voice was smooth, controlled, but something flickered beneath it. Urgency, maybe desperation. Her work was extraordinary. I'd like to offer you a position at my company. Valerie laughed bitterly. Sir, I clean floors. I don't know what kind of position. Operations Manager. Aurora Tech Industries. The words hit her like a slap. You're insane. I'm serious. Min-jun pulled out a business card. Your daughter spoke about accessibility in technology. That requires leadership from someone who understands exclusion. You've raised a genius while working multiple jobs in a foreign country. That's exactly what I need. Valerie stared at the card, her mind racing. This was wrong. Men like him didn't offer women like her 6-figure jobs out of nowhere. What do you really want? She asked quietly. Min-jun's jaw tightened. To give your daughter opportunities she deserves. You don't even know her. I know enough. He paused, his eyes dropping to her hands, then back to her face. The jade pendant she wears. Where did she get it? Valerie's blood turned to ice. That's none of your business. Something cracked in his expression. Pain, recognition, longing. I see. My apologies. He turned to leave, then stopped. Think about the offer, Ms. Thompson. Not for me. For Amanda. He disappeared down the hallway, leaving Valerie frozen with a business card that felt like a bomb in her hand. Kang Min-jun, CEO, Aurora Tech Industries. And beneath that, in smaller text, former executive board, Kang Family Enterprises. The Kang family. Everyone in Korea knew that name. Whispered in shadows. Feared in boardrooms. The kind of power that didn't ask, it took. What did a man like that want with her daughter? Min-jun stood in his penthouse office, a folder open on his desk. Subject: Thompson Valerie. Age: 32. Occupation: night cleaner. Origin: Atlanta, Georgia. Surveillance photos spilled across the mahogany surface. Valerie leaving work at dawn. Exhaustion carved into her brown skin. Valerie holding Amanda's hand at a bus stop, laughing at something her daughter said. Valerie sitting alone in their cramped apartment, staring at bills she couldn't pay. And there, magnified on his computer screen, Amanda's school photo, the jade cufflink hanging from her neck, his crest, his family's crest. The DNA results came back, Jay said from the doorway. Min-jun didn't turn. And 99.97% probability of paternity. The room tilted. Min-jun gripped the desk, his knuckles white. Sir, are you? Leave. Sir, leave. Jay hesitated, then closed the door softly behind him. Min-jun sank into his chair, staring at Amanda's face on the screen. Her eyes, defiant, brilliant, alive, stared back. His daughter. He had a daughter. A daughter who wore his family crest around her neck like a talisman, not knowing it marked her as a target. Not knowing the Kang name was both a crown and a curse. His phone buzzed. A text from his brother, Kang Min-ho. Heard you're sniffing around some cleaning woman. Don't do anything stupid. Min-jun deleted it. He pulled up another photo. This one from 8 years ago. Atlanta Tech Summit. The Masquerade Charity Ball. He'd gone to meet American contacts to expand the family's cyber operations into the West. Instead, he'd met her. A woman in a black dress, directing drunk tech executives with grace and humor. She'd been on break, standing on the hotel terrace, staring at the city lights like they held answers. You look like you're planning an escape, he'd said. She'd laughed. Maybe I am. They'd talk for hours. About dreams. About feeling trapped. About wanting to be someone other than who the world expected. He'd never asked her name. She'd never asked his. One night, two strangers pretending they could be anyone. He'd left before dawn, too much of a coward to stay. Too afraid she'd see who he really was. And now, 8 years later, she was scrubbing floors in his city, raising his child alone. Min-jun opened a new file on his computer and began typing. Project Amanda, Full Scholarship Fund, Technology Access Initiative, Educational Trust. Money couldn't fix this. But it was a start. Mom, you're doing again. Valerie blinked. Amanda sat across from her at their tiny kitchen table. Homework forgotten. Eyes too knowing for a 7-year-old. Doing what, baby? Worrying. Amanda tilted her head. What happened at work? A man offered me a job. Amanda's eyes went wide. A real job? Not cleaning. Yes, but... take it. Amanda bounced in her seat. You always say you wish you'd gone to college. This is your chance. It's not that simple, Amanda. Why not? Because he looked at me like he'd seen a ghost. Because he asked about the cufflink, the only thing I kept from that night. Because everything about this feels dangerous. Because I don't trust him, Valerie said quietly. Amanda reached across the table, her small hand covering Valerie's scarred one. Mom, you tell me all the time that brave people are just scared people who move forward anyway. Valerie's throat closed. When had her baby become so wise? I'll think about it. Think fast. Amanda pulled up her cracked tablet. Because I Googled him. Aurora Tech Industries has a robotics lab, Mom, with AI integration and machine learning programs. And Mom, you okay? Valerie stared at the screen. At Kang Min-jun in a boardroom, arms crossed, expression unreadable. At the jade cufflinks glinting at his wrists. The same dragon crest. The exact same design. Her vision swam. The hotel terrace. The masquerade ball. The man with sad eyes who'd made her laugh, who talked about feeling like a prisoner in his own life, who disappeared before dawn without leaving a name. No. Mom. I'm fine, baby. Valerie closed the tablet with shaking hands. I'm fine. But she wasn't. Because the father of her child, the man she'd spent 8 years trying to forget, had just walked back into her life. And he was the most dangerous kind of man. Min-Jun scheduled the meeting for neutral ground, a private cafe he'd rented out for the afternoon. Valerie arrived exactly on time, Amanda's hand gripped tightly in hers. She'd worn her best dress, the one she saved for church. Amanda wore her school uniform, freshly pressed. They didn't belong in places like this, and Valerie's spine straightened with defensive pride. Ms. Thompson. Min-Jun stood from a corner table. His eyes went immediately to Amanda, softening in a way that made Valerie's stomach clench. Thank you for coming. I wasn't sure you would. I'm here for answers, Valerie said. Not a job interview. Fair enough. He gestured to the empty cafe. We won't be interrupted. Amanda's eyes went wide. You rented the whole place? I value privacy. Min-Jun crouched to her level. Amanda, your presentation was brilliant. Truly. I've been coding for 25 years, and your AI assistant's logic structure was more elegant than most professional work I've seen. Amanda beamed. Really. He straightened, meeting Valerie's gaze. May I speak with you privately? Amanda can explore the robotics magazines on that shelf. No. Valerie's voice was steel. Anything you say to me, you say in front of my daughter. Min-Jun nodded slowly. All right. They sat. Amanda immediately grabbed a magazine, but Valerie noticed her daughter's eyes flicking between the adults, absorbing everything. The cufflink, Valerie said without preamble. You asked about it at Gangnam Tower. I did. Why? Min-Jun reached into his pocket and placed a jade cufflink on the table, identical to the one Amanda wore. Because I left his partner in a hotel room in Atlanta 8 years ago, he said quietly. After a tech summit, after a masquerade ball where I met a woman in a black dress who made me feel human for the first time in my life. Valerie couldn't breathe. You, she whispered. Me. You're, she glanced at Amanda, then back. You're her father. Yes. The word fell like a guillotine. Valerie stood so fast her chair toppled. Amanda, we're leaving. But Mom. Now. Wait. Min-Jun rose, hands open, pleading. Please. Just listen. Listen to what? Valerie's voice cracked. You're Kang Min-Jun. I know what that name means. I know what your family does. I'm not my family. Aren't you? Valerie grabbed Amanda's hand. Come on, baby. Ms. Thompson, Valerie. Min-Jun's controlled facade shattered. I didn't know. I swear on everything I didn't know about Amanda until I saw her presentation. If I had known. What? You would have sent money? Hidden us somewhere? Paid us off? I would have been there. His shout echoed in the empty cafe. Then quieter, broken. I would have been there. Valerie froze. Min-Jun ran a hand through his hair, composure gone. I've spent 3 years trying to get out. Transitioning the family operations to legitimate business. Cutting ties. Building Aurora Tech as something clean. But I didn't have a reason strong enough to burn every bridge. He looked at Amanda, his eyes glassy. Until now. You expect me to believe. I don't expect anything. His voice cracked. But she deserves to know her father. And you deserve to stop destroying yourself to survive. Valerie's eyes burned. You don't get to show up and... I know. Min-Jun's hands trembled. I have no right, but I'm asking anyway. Not as a Kang. As the man who held you on that terrace and wished morning would never come. The cafe was silent except for the hum of the espresso machine. Amanda tugged Valerie's hand. Mom, is Mr. Kang really my dad? Valerie looked down at her daughter. Brilliant, brave, too perceptive for anyone's good. Yes, she whispered. He is. Amanda studied Min-jun for a long moment. Then she walked up to him, crossed her arms, and said, "Can you code?" Min-jun blinked. "What? Can you code?" Amanda's expression was serious. "Mom says you can't trust people who say they love tech, but can't actually build anything. So prove it." Despite everything, a smile tugged at Min-jun's lips. "You want me to prove I can code? Right now." He glanced at Valerie, who looked torn between laughing and crying. Then he pulled out his phone, opened a coding interface, and handed it to Amanda. "Give me a problem." Amanda's eyes gleamed. "Build me a sorting algorithm that prioritizes by emotional value instead of numerical value." Min-jun's eyebrows rose. "That's ambitious." "Too hard for you?" "Not even close." He cracked his knuckles. "Time me." Amanda pulled out her cracked tablet. "Go." Valerie watched, stunned, as her daughter and the father she'd just met bent over the phone, arguing about functions and variables, their heads close together, the same intense focus on both their faces. The same gesture, tapping their ring finger 3 times when thinking. The same way of biting their lower lip when concentrating. Oh God, she couldn't deny this, couldn't run from it. They were unmistakably, undeniably his. "Done," Min-jun said after 5 minutes. Amanda checked the code, her eyes widening. "Wait. You used sentiment analysis, weighting with machine learning prediction models. You said emotional value. That's not measurable without contextual AI. But that's advanced level." Amanda looked up at him, wonder in her eyes. "That's exactly what I would have done." Min-jun's voice went soft. "I know." Father and daughter stared at each other, recognition dawning in both their faces. And Valerie knew, in that moment, that running was no longer an option. "She can visit," Valerie said suddenly. Both Min-jun and Amanda turned to her. "Visit." Min-jun repeated. "Once a week. Supervised." Valerie's voice shook, but held firm. "You can teach her coding, robotics, whatever. But I need to be there. And the moment I think you're pulling her into anything dangerous, anything related to your family's business, we disappear. Understand?" Min-jun's eyes shone. "Understood. And I need proof. Proof that you're really getting out. That Aurora Tech is clean. That you're not." Valerie's voice broke. "That you're not going to get her killed." "I'll give you full access," Min-jun said immediately. "Financial records, business operations, background checks on every employee, whatever you need. And the job offer still stands. But no pressure. Take your time." Valerie nodded slowly, her mind spinning. Amanda tugged Min-jun's sleeve. "Can I see the robotics lab? Mom said we could visit." "Amanda," Valerie started. "Please, Mom, just for an hour." Min-jun looked at Valerie, question in his eyes. She wanted to say no, wanted to grab Amanda and run back to their tiny apartment where life was hard but safe. But Amanda was looking at her with such hope, such hunger for a world Valerie couldn't give her alone. "1 hour," Valerie said. "And I'm coming with you." Min-jun's smile was small but genuine. "I wouldn't have it any other way." Aurora Tech Industries' robotics lab looked like something from a science fiction movie. Amanda's gasp echoed through the space. "Mom, is that a quantum processor?" "Industrial grade," Min-jun said, watching her face light up. "We're developing adaptive AI for accessibility technology. Screen readers that understand context. Prosthetics that learn individual movement patterns." "That's exactly what I want to do." Amanda was already running toward the equipment. "Amanda, don't touch," Valerie started. "Let her explore," Min-jun said softly. "She can't break anything I can't fix." They stood side by side, watching Amanda examine everything with reverent joy. Lab technicians smiled at her enthusiasm, answering her rapid-fire questions with genuine respect. "She's remarkable," Min-jun whispered. "She's everything," Valerie corrected. "I know." He turned to her, and for a moment she saw the man from Atlanta again, the one with sad eyes and dreams he couldn't speak aloud. Thank you. For raising her. For protecting her. For being everything I couldn't be. You didn't know. I should have stayed. His voice was raw. I should have asked your name. Should have had the courage to be honest about who I was. Would you have? Valerie asked quietly. Been honest. Min Jun was quiet for a long moment. I don't know. I was a coward then. And now I have a reason to be brave. He looked at Amanda, who was showing the lab technician her tablet, excitedly explaining her AI assistant. She's my reason. Valerie's throat tightened. Don't make her promises you can't keep. I won't. Min Jun met her eyes. But I will make her one promise right now. I will never let my family's past touch her. Whatever it takes. That's a dangerous promise. I'm a dangerous man. His smile was bitter. But for her, I'll be whatever I need to be. Amanda's voice carried across the lab. Mom. Mr. Kong. Come look at this. They walked over together. Mother, father, and the genius child who'd brought them back together. And for the first time in 8 years, Valerie let herself hope that maybe, just maybe, they could build something good from the mess they'd made. Min Jun's phone buzzed during Amanda's third visit to the lab. He glanced at the screen, and his blood went cold. Min Ho, family dinner. Tonight. 7 p.m. Father insists. Don't be late. Everything okay? Valerie asked, noticing his expression. Fine. He silenced the phone, but his jaw remained tight. Amanda looked up from the robot arm she was programming. You're lying. You do the same thing Mom does when she's worried. Your left eye twitches. Min Jun touched his eye unconsciously. You're too observant for your own good. That's what Mom always says. Amanda grinned. So what's wrong? He hesitated, then crouched beside her. I have a family dinner tonight. It's complicated. Because of us? Amanda asked, her voice small. No. Min Jun touched her shoulder gently. Because of me. Because I'm choosing a different path than they want. Valerie's voice was sharp. What does that mean? Min Jun stood, meeting her eyes. It means my family is going to find out about Amanda, eventually. I'd rather control when and how. Absolutely not. Valerie grabbed Amanda's hand. We're not meeting your family. I'm not suggesting you do. Not yet. Min Jun ran a hand through his hair. But they know I've been distracted. They're getting suspicious. Then lie to them. I've been lying to them for 3 years, Min Jun said quietly. I'm tired of it. Amanda tugged Valerie's sleeve. Mom, maybe. No, baby. Valerie's voice softened. This isn't our problem to solve. But Min Jun was already texting his assistant. Jay, I need full security on Valerie Thompson and Amanda Thompson. Discreet. 24/7. Valerie's eyes went wide. What are you doing? Protecting you. Min Jun pocketed his phone. My family doesn't make threats. They make moves. If they think you're a weakness, they'll exploit it. We're not your responsibility. You're the mother of my child. Min Jun's voice echoed through the lab. Technicians looked up, startled. He lowered his voice. That makes you my responsibility, whether you like it or not. The Kong family estate sat in the hills outside Seoul, all traditional architecture and modern security. Min Jun arrived exactly at 7, his heart hammering against his ribs. His father, Kong Dae-young, sat at the head of the table, 70 years old, steel gray hair, eyes that missed nothing. Min Ho lounged beside him, younger by 3 years, still fully invested in the family business. Brother, you're on time. Miracles do happen. Let's get this over with, Min Jun said, taking a seat. So hostile. His mother, son, he murmured. We haven't seen you in weeks. I've been busy. With your little tech company. Min Ho's smile didn't reach his eyes. Tell me, is Aurora Tech actually profitable, or is it just an expensive hobby? It's profitable. Min Jun kept his voice level. Quarterly reports are public record. Dae-young finally spoke, his voice like gravel. And yet you've been spending significant time at an elementary school. Seoul International. Why? Min Jun's blood froze. Recruitment, he said smoothly. There's a STEM program that shows promise. I'm considering funding it. Recruitment. Dae-young set down his chopsticks. Is that what we're calling it now? Min-ho leaned forward, grinning. Father had you followed, brother. Did you really think we wouldn't notice? Notice what? The cleaning woman. Dae-young's eyes were ice. The American. And her child. The air left Min Jun's lungs. A child. Son, he repeated, her voice sharp. Min Jun, what have you done? Nothing that concerns this family. Everything you do concerns this family. Dae-young's fist hit the table. You think I don't know what you're planning? Transitioning assets. Legitimizing operations. Cutting ties. I'm building something clean. You're building a fantasy. Dae-young stood, towering despite his age. The Kang name doesn't get clean. It gets powerful. And you're throwing it away for what? Some American woman and her bastard child. Min Jun stood so fast his chair fell. Don't call her that. Silence. Min-ho's eyes gleamed with malicious understanding. Oh, this is beautiful. The child is yours, isn't it? Min Jun said nothing, which was answer enough. Son, he gasped. Min Jun, you didn't. I have a daughter, Min Jun said, his voice steel. Her name is Amanda. She's 7 years old. And she's brilliant. And none of you will ever touch her. A daughter. Dae-young's laugh was cold. A black daughter, from what I understand. Do you have any idea what the families will say? What this does to our alliances? I don't care. You should. Dae-young stepped closer. Because if you legitimize this child, if you bring her into the Kang name, she becomes a target. Every enemy we've made, and we've made many, will see her as leverage. The words hit like bullets. That's why she stays anonymous, Min Jun said quietly. That's why I'm getting out. So she never has to know what the Kang name really means. It's too late for that, Min-ho said. You've already been seen with her. Multiple times. At the school. At Aurora Tech. People talk, brother. Then I'll handle it. How? Dae-young demanded. By playing house with some cleaning woman? By pretending you're not who you are? By becoming someone better? Min Jun met his father's gaze. You taught me to be ruthless. But she's teaching me to be human. And I chose her. The room went silent. Then Dae-young smiled, cold and calculating. Then you're a fool. And fools don't survive in our world. Valerie woke to pounding on her apartment door at 3 a.m. She grabbed the baseball bat she kept by the bed and crept to the entrance. Who is it? It's Jay, Mr. Kang's assistant. Please open the door. Valerie checked the peephole, saw a man in a suit looking genuinely panicked, and cracked the door open. What's wrong? You need to pack. Now. Jay pushed into the apartment. The Kang family knows about Amanda. Valerie's stomach dropped. What? Mr. Kang went to family dinner tonight. They confronted him. They've known for at least a week that he's been visiting you and Amanda. Jay was already moving through the apartment, pulling curtains closed. He wanted to tell you himself, but I convinced him you needed to know immediately. Know what? That you're in danger. Jay met her eyes. The Kang family doesn't accept weakness. And right now you and Amanda are seen as exactly that. We need to leave Korea. No. Jay shook his head. They have reach everywhere. Running makes you look guilty, makes you a loose end. Mr. Kang has a better plan. What plan? He's going to announce Amanda publicly. Claim her as his legitimate heir. Give her the protection of the Kang name. Valerie's world tilted. Absolutely not. That's insane. It's the only way to keep her safe. Jay's voice was urgent. If she's acknowledged as family, anyone who touches her declares war on the entire Kang organization. It's mutually assured destruction. And it makes her a target forever. She's already a target. Jay pulled out his phone, showing her photos. Grainy surveillance images of Amanda at school, at the park, walking home with Valerie. These were taken by your father's people. The question isn't whether they know about her. It's what they plan to do about it. Valerie sank onto the couch, her hands shaking. This can't be happening. Mom. Both adults turned. Amanda stood in her bedroom doorway, rubbing her eyes. Why are you yelling? Baby, go back to bed. Is it about my dad? Amanda asked quietly. Is he in trouble because of me? Valerie's heart shattered. No, sweetheart, this isn't. I'm not stupid, Mom. Amanda's voice was steady despite her fear. I know his last name is important. I Googled it. I know what people say about the Kong family. Amanda. Is he a bad person? Amanda's eyes filled with tears. Because he doesn't seem bad. He's nice to you. He listens to me. He doesn't treat me different because, she gestured at her skin. Valerie crossed the room and pulled Amanda into her arms. No, baby. He's not bad. He's just complicated. Then why can't we help him? Because helping him means putting you in danger. I'm already in danger, aren't I? Amanda pulled back, her young face too serious. That's why Mr. J is here at 3 a.m. Jay knelt beside them. Amanda, your father wants to protect you. But to do that, he needs to tell everyone you're his daughter. That means your life will change. A lot. How? Security guards. Private school. People watching you all the time. Jay's voice was gentle. You won't be able to be anonymous anymore. Amanda looked at Valerie. What do you think, Mom? Valerie's throat closed. I think we're in over our heads. Then we swim, Amanda said. That's what you always tell me. When things get hard, we don't sink. We swim. Min-Jun arrived at Valerie's apartment at dawn, looking like he hadn't slept. Jay told you, he said when Valerie opened the door. He told me your insane plan. Valerie stepped aside to let him in. You want to announce Amanda to the world. I want to protect her. By making her Kong? Valerie's voice rose. By painting a target on her back? The target's already there. Min-Jun's control snapped. My father knows. Min-Ho knows. That means everyone in their network knows. Right now, she's just a loose end they can eliminate quietly. But if she's officially family, she becomes a pawn in your family's games. She becomes untouchable. Min-Jun grabbed Valerie's shoulders. Do you understand what the Kong name means? It means power, protection, resources. No one touches a Kong without starting a war. And what about when she grows up? Valerie demanded. When she realizes her father's empire was built on. I'm tearing that empire apart. Min-Jun's voice broke, piece by piece. That's what the last 3 years have been about. Aurora Tech isn't a side project. It's an exit strategy. But I need time. And to get time, I need to keep her alive. Valerie's eyes burned. There has to be another way. There isn't. Min-Jun's hands trembled on her shoulders. Believe me, I've looked. This is the only play that keeps her safe. I'm scared. So am I. He pulled her closer, their foreheads touching. But I won't let anything happen to her. Or to you. I swear it. Promises aren't bulletproof. No. Min-Jun's smile was bitter. But I am very good at making people regret crossing me. Amanda appeared in the hallway. Are you two done fighting? They separated quickly. Amanda. I already told Mr. J I'm okay with it, Amanda said. The announcement thing. If it keeps us safe. Min-Jun crouched before her. You understand what this means? You'll have a different last name. Security guards. People will treat you differently. Will I still get to code? Yes. Will I still live with Mom? If that's what you both want. Amanda looked at Valerie. Will you be safe too? Min-Jun answered before Valerie could. Your mother gets the same protection you do. I'm not negotiating on that. Amanda nodded slowly. Then okay. Let's do it. Baby, are you sure? Valerie knelt beside Min-Jun. This is a huge decision. Mom, you're always saying we can't control what happens, only how we respond. Amanda's chin lifted in that familiar defiant gesture. Bad people know about me, so we respond by making sure they can't touch me. Right? Valerie looked at Min-Jun, fear and resignation warring in her eyes. Right, she whispered. The press conference was held at Aurora Tech Industries 3 days later. Min-Jun stood at a podium, Valerie beside him in a dress he'd bought her, She tried to refuse, but he'd insisted. Amanda sat in the front row, wearing her school uniform and her jade pendant, looking small but brave. Reporters packed the room. Cameras flashed. "Thank you for coming," Minjun began. "I've called this conference to make a personal announcement. 8 years ago, I met a woman named Valerie Thompson in Atlanta. We had one night together. I left without leaving my name." He paused. "That was the worst mistake of my life." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. That night resulted in a daughter, Amanda Thompson. She's 7 years old. She's a genius coder. And as of today, she's officially Amanda Thompson Kong. The room erupted. Min Jun raised his hand. "I'm also announcing my engagement to Valerie Thompson." Valerie's head whipped toward him. They hadn't discussed this. But Min Jun's eyes were steady on hers, asking a question. She thought about Amanda's safety, about the protection the Kong name offered, about the man who'd held her on a terrace 8 years ago and made her feel seen. She thought about swimming, not sinking. Slowly, she nodded. Min Jun's smile was genuine as he took her hand. "We'll be married within the month. Any questions?" A reporter stood. "Mr. Kong, does your family approve of this relationship?" "My family's approval is irrelevant," Min Jun said coldly. "My daughter and her mother are under my protection. Anyone who threatens them threatens me." Another reporter. "What about the Kong family business? Will Amanda be involved?" "Aurora Tech is my business. It's legitimate, transparent, and that's the only empire Amanda will inherit. But your father is retired." Min Jun's voice was steel. "As is my involvement with Kong Family Enterprises. My future is with my daughter and my fiancé. Nothing else matters." The press conference dissolved into chaos, but Min Jun ignored it. He walked to Amanda, lifting her into his arms. "You okay?" he whispered. Amanda nodded against his shoulder. "Are you getting there?" He kissed her forehead. "Welcome to the family, Amanda Thompson Kong." Valerie joined them, and for one perfect moment, they stood together, a family forged from mistakes and second chances. 1 month later, the wedding was small, private. Just Jay, a few close Aurora Tech employees, and Amanda as flower girl. Valerie wore white. Min Jun wore jade cufflinks, both of them now reunited after 8 years. Amanda stood between them during the ceremony, holding both their hands. "I know this isn't traditional," the officiant said with a smile. "But then again, neither is your story." "Our story is perfect," Amanda announced. "Because Mom always says the best families aren't born, they're built." Min Jun and Valerie exchanged glances, then laughed. "She's right," Min Jun said. As usual. When they kissed, Amanda cheered louder than anyone. 6 months later, Amanda's presentation at the International Youth Tech Summit was titled, "How My Family Built an Empire from Code and Love." She stood on stage, now 8 years old, confident and brilliant. "My mom was a cleaner. My dad was complicated." The audience laughed. "But they taught me that where you start doesn't define where you finish." My mom started scrubbing floors. Now she's COO of Aurora Tech. My dad started in a family business he didn't believe in. Now he runs the most innovative tech company in Asia. She held up her jade pendant. "And I started as a kid who built computers from trash. Now I'm building programs that give people like my mom access to technology they deserve." Min Jun and Valerie sat in the audience, fingers intertwined. "She's incredible," Valerie whispered. "She gets it from you," Min Jun replied. "And her coding skills from you." "Fair." He kissed her temple. "We make a good team. The best team." On stage, Amanda concluded, "Technology connects devices. But love? Love connects souls across oceans, across years, across every obstacle the world throws at you. And that's the code I'll spend my life perfecting." The auditorium erupted in applause. Min Jun stood, clapping until his hands hurt, pride burning in his chest. His daughter, his wife, his family, not born, built, and absolutely perfect. Did this story grab your heart? Comment your favorite moment below. Like if you believe in second chances. And subscribe for more incredible K-drama stories. Thank you for watching.